Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. Today's date is 21st March 2024. Time exactly 9 minutes past 9. Sanbonani, Dumelani, Avsheni, Hinda, Mulweni, Wakiti. So, welcome to my class. And then another thing that I can advise before we can dive into our class, I can advise you guys to do a full screen when you watch this video, or maybe rotate your phone so that the full screen will be on. And then another thing, quality, press that quality and play it in HD. So thank you guys. Monohybrid. Yesterday we did monohybrid crosses, and today we are here to do questions and answers. Since after my lesson I gave you an activity, say go and do this activity for me, and then we'll do it tomorrow. Another thing, you might be surprised why those who are from WhatsApp, you might be surprised why are we not doing this live Facebook, since I have promised you guys that live Facebook. Here's the problem: we have students that are using school Wi-Fi. We have students that are being barring baba, do we call this baba hotspot again. So they are saying that someone can hotspot them, and then they can download this video and watch it during their spare time. So that's one, guys, we see it's a valuable point. Let's use that. Or those who use the school Wi-Fi, they say they can go with phone to the school, give it to the teacher, and then after school go to the internet, download the video, and then go back and watch it. So thank you guys for those who are understanding us, or those who are giving us their times. And for you guys who are new here, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to watch the previous videos. We are moving on now. We are on monohybrid crosses question and answer. After that, tomorrow we'll be going to sex determination and sex linked inheritance. Since now you will be fully equipped with what is monohybrid crosses, what is happening with monohybrid crosses. So today, guys, it's a follow-up. This is what we did previously: the monohybrid cross, the phenotype, genotype, homozygous, heterozygous, dominant, recessive, and then we did example of dominance, which is complete, incomplete, or codominant. And then, guys, did our examination guideline. If you missed this, guys, go back and rewatch it or watch it. Or if you don't understand it, this is the beauty of this class, guys. The beauty of this class is that you can be with me here. I can teach you now visually. Go on my screen. And then another thing, you can pause. You can do what you can. Is the thing, when you pause the video, you can go to a textbook and scroll and see if whatever I'm saying is correct. If I'm saying something incorrectly, so go to textbook, Google it, find it, help yourself, mark it down. We move on. Do you understand? Like robot. I'm not an AI. Like a robot. So if the two sorts is wrong, you know my intention are to help you guys. So if when you sit down and pinpoint the mistakes that I'm saying here, you'll have a problem at the end of the day, because this help is coming for you. When you find a mistake, maybe you'll help with your friend. You go to your friend, ask about that, then you help one another, and then we move on. Simple. And then you comment on the comment section, or at time what time 1 or time 3 minutes 49, when you are saying this, I think this and this is the correct, instead of that. We move on, we learn, guys. Let's learn, and then let's have this life science on our barring statement ili sharp. It's 70 something there. Okay, guys, as you can see, I forgot to tell you that we still have a long way to go up until we can reach this point here. We still have a long way to go, guys. So bear with me. I can explain not too much, or I can when I make emphasis on something, because this information I might be saying this now, and then you might find that next time I don't have time to say it back, and then I will regret it if only I had this. So now you have time to hear those stories and everything. So yes, what we were doing, we did the crossings, and then we did the Punnett square here, and then after Punnett square we explained that we have complete dominant, incomplete dominant, and codominant. And with our learnings, guys, now we understand that we have alleles, then alleles dominant, homozygous dominant, homozygous recessive. And then another thing, what is it that I want to talk about? This one will be P1, and then it will undergo meiosis, and then it will, this one is gametes. Sorry, let's start here. This one are gametes, and then we'll have phenotype. It when you are writing, we are explaining, and we are doing monohybrid. We have phenotype, and then we have color black here, and then here we have color white, and then genotype, and then they will the genomes will undergo meiosis, and then when they undergo meiosis, we'll have gametes. Now you have to write it like this. When you have gametes, they will do like this, and then we'll do like this, and then a process fertilization will take place. Fertilization will take place, and then this A, there's a possibility of it to match with this A. This A, there's a possibility of it to match with this A. This A has a sorry, only two possibilities, and then this A, each chance it can merge with this one, and this A, it can merge with this one. And then when we bring this A and this A, we are going to have capital letter A and small letter a. This A and that A, capital letter A, small letter a. This A and this A, capital letter A, small letter a. This A and this A, capital letter A, small letter a. And then here we'll have F1, filial generation. You write F1 again. I told you P1 here. When 1, 2, they're at the right place, you have 1 mark. And when 1, 2, they're at the right place, you also have a mark. So after here, you will have this one, there will be your gametes. And then from gametes, we will have phenotype. And phenotype, I said that now we are explaining this. Since black, and then since A was for the color black, and then a small letter A recessive for color white, it means the phenotype capital letter win, or the capital letter will be dominant over the small letters, and then the color here will be black. This is what we did, Anir. This is what we did. Then after that, you know where now we have a mark here, you have a mark here. We also talked about something, a compulsory. When I was doing something like this, I talked about compulsory mark, or when they say show us the phenotype, you have to give us this. They show us the gametes. Man, you see, I did a mistake. This one is not a gametes here. This one will be genotype. You see, since I'm fast and I'm just picking up the things so that we'll have time, you might find that I do a mistake. When you pinpoint that mistake, you see it, you move on, you don't dwell in it, because you dwell on that guy when you want to prove a point. Mr. Mpepu did a mistake here, Mr. Mpepu, you did a mistake here. Let's move on. And then we have a dominant again. We have a dominant and we have the recessive. And then this one is a type of a complete dominant, and complete dominant. And then after complete dominant, and then we have incomplete dominant. And then with this incomplete dominant, we have co-dominant, dominant. And then we understand that we have a keywords. The keywords are complete dominant. We are going to say one allele is dominant. One allele is dominant. It means example, capital letter A, small letter a. And then incomplete dominant, we are going to say neither or no allele dominant. No allele dominant. And then we also have another point that we are going to have an intermediate phenotype. And then these are the two example when we have R multiplied with W for white, and then this one they are going to give us RW, and intermediate color will be pink. It means we mix this, we have another pink. And then co-dominant, we said all of them. Actually, we have one, no, all dominant. Co-dominant, all dominant. And then example, we'll have a color brown cow mixed with white cow. Because all of them, they are dominant, the color that we are going to have, it's BW, which is a brown cow with white patches, or white mark, or white whatever you want to, white dots, chickens, those chickens that we have feathers that are white gray, it's a co-dominant. And then incomplete dominant when you have a tree that have maybe like red flowers and yellow flowers, and then jiggy jiggy you see orange flowers, it means that what happened there, it's a incomplete dominant. We have an intermediate phase. This is the question that they are going to ask when you come across a question that wants you to give an entire codominant. They will say all alleles are dominant here, and then when they want you to give an example, yeah, or entire incomplete dominant, they will say one allele, no allele is dominant, or neither. They will use a word, they can use a word neither, something like that, neither, which means no one, no allele, neither allele is dominant. And then they can also use a keyword and then the intermediate phenotype, then you will know in incomplete dominant. And then when we say a complete dominant, when one allele is dominant over the other, then they will use those keywords when these alleles, the moment you find that a allele it's controlled by a dominant allele, you know we have a complete dominant. And then when the moment we heard them saying hey allele 1 and the allele 2, no one, neither of them, they are dominant, incomplete. So today we'll be doing our questions, and then from here, what else do we need to know that we'll need to revise, or that we'll need to do as our previous knowledge? This is what we learn and then from previous knowledge. So let's take this into answering questions. I gave you this exercise. We ended here yesterday, and then I gave you this exercise. Said go and do this exercise for me. Ne? Okay, it's fine. Maybe you did it, you didn't do it, you forgot, you didn't know about it. It's fine. Let's move on. And then it says another thing that they want us to teach you guys, Kuri, how to construct or how to deconstruct a question. That one thing you'll have to learn. After a year, we are also moving to question papers. 2018, I told you go and do 2018, 2021, 2022. You will also have to learn how to deconstruct a question. Banyaka in on a question. What is it that they want, so that you will answer into banyaka. You see the 6 marks here. When you come here, you start explaining things. You are heading to a wrong direction. Kupuka, jiga, make a U-turn. It's fine. Let's move on. Number 1, it says 2 gray mice were mated. Gray is a second color. It's a secondary color, and we mix a certain color and a certain color, we get a gray color. And then by now we can hear incomplete. No, they even told that monohybrid cross with incomplete dominance. Incomplete dominance, it means that we'll have a color and then intermediate color. So now I was just diving into the question, and then I by the time I read these 2 gray mice were mated, immediately incomplete dominant was ringing in my head. Gray color, we have to use two colors, and then we have another one. Okay, it's fine. They say some of the offspring were gray, others were black, and some white. Then the gray color is being we're combining white and black, and then, but how is this possible? That this one is not a question. How is this possible? When now you start to think, how is this possible? How can this possible? Barry, now this is what they want you to do. Draw a genetic cross to explain these results. Why not just go and do a genetic cross to explain these results? Hey, I forgot here to include Punnett square. Sorry guys. I forgot to do. We can also do this Punnett square. Mara, I know guys. You didn't forget this. You didn't forget this. And then here we write commits. It's when you don't want to do this cross, and it's when you don't want to do this crossing. This that I'm marking here. Don't be confused. You choose one, but this you write. This one you write. So we'll say a mistake, excuse mistake waka. They will say a, and then we will say small letter a, and then this a and this a, and this a join here. A we did it like previous, and then this a and this a, capital letter A, small letter a, and this a here and this a down here, they will merge here a, and then this a here and this a here rule of thumb, guys, we start with a capital letter and then small letter. We move on now. So why am I referring to this? I don't want you guys, for me, maybe I would prefer the crossing because it kind of like fast, né? But maybe we'll find that someone also wants to do it a Punnett square, so it's fine. But do a genetic cross. Why am I even remembering Punnett squares? Because genetic cross, it can either be the crossing thing or the Punnett square. These are the genetic cross. They didn't say use a cross or use a Punnett square. They use genetic cross. There's a difference to explain these results. Okay, it's fine. We'll use this one, but we are explaining the results, and we have a gray, we have a P1 generation. By doing that, you are explaining. We know we're now writing. P1 generation will have phenotype. Let's have that answer here. I'm not sure if it will fit. Then P1, you'll say phenotype. Then phenotype, you will say we have a gray multiplied by gray, ne? Gray multiplied by gray. Then we say genotype. Aujai. You take that time. And then gray, it was black and white multiplied by black and white. Aujai. Then there, undergo meiosis. You write your meiosis, and then it will give us gametes. You write your gametes. From here, we are no longer going to write this. From here, I'm no longer going to write this. I'll be just writing this by times, and when we move on, when you write it down, you have to also include this because there's marks for this. Then gametes are how you have B, W, B, W. And then you'll know that this one will undergo fertilization. Fertilization. Then you do B, 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 W, W, B, W, W. And then here we'll have a F1 generation, and then we have genotype. And then B and B will have B, B. Those who understand, or those who are getting this, they now understand. When we have BB, we have black here. And then the next one can have B, W, and then B and W, rule of thumb, you start with the one that, if you agree both of them, they are not dominant. So we start with the one that it was started with W, and then the last one will be W, W. So now, this B and B, this one, it's coding. You go and phenotype, ASCII, phenotype, and then phenotype you'll write here, we have black, and then here we have gray, and then here we have gray, and then here we have white. And then some of the offspring were gray, babwa neat, and then others were black, babwa neat, and some were white. They are still right. And then how is this possible? This is how this is possible. Do a genetic cross to explain these results. We explain the results here. So you see that now there's a difference between when we come to life science and answering their questions. They can say do a genetic cross to explain these results, and then after here you can give a compulsory answer to say results. You can say results. If you want to explain the results, you can say results when these two, when a gray and a gray being crossed, we saw that there's a possibility of their offspring to be black and gray and white. You get me? So cross square, that's what they are. That's what we're nyaka there. And then number 2, incomplete dominant is seen in the inheritance of hypercholesterolemia, high blood cholesterol levels. Cholesterol king. You did this grade, is it grade 10? Grade 10 or grade 11? Grade 10 if I'm not mistaken. You did the cholesterol. And then, Barry, here's the thing, here's the beauty of this. You might not even know what's that thing cause, what's that thing. But you can answer most. You can get most answers even not knowing what the cholesterol is. or what that cholesterol. You can get it during your spare time, so it's fine. But H represents the allele for a very high level and L for a very low. Then this one is an incomplete. It means that someone who have a high is this one, someone who have extra high and extra low. And then but Sipho 2.1, Sipho and Andiswa are both heterozygous for these characteristics, although HL HL. Bari, and both have high cholesterol. It means H and L here it's high cholesterol, and then both they have high cholesterol level, but not as high as their daughter Sihle. It means that they shared their DNA. Here you can see example, this H is going to meet with this H, and we are going to have HH. This is going to be higher compared to the mother, the Sipho and Andis, ne. And then who has the level that are 6 times above the normal. She is homozygous, and then they told us she is homozygous for a high cholesterol level. Yes, this is her composition, and homozygous, yes. And then do a full genetic diagram to explain your answer. Then do a full genetic diagram to explain your answer. It's like this, we know. This that we're explaining here, it's like this, we know. Then we have to do this here to explain that answer, that to explain that the thing that we were talking about. Simple. You come and do this. You come and write here, you write here, you write phenotype, you write, after writing the phenotype, when now you are good. You have explained your thing. You know we don't teach English here, we don't do English. So we can't explain that thing. Come on. It's like mathematics. Solve for x. I don't need to explain but you can explain why x is it's less than 5. Then okay, you're going to say phenotype Andy, so you're going to say Sipho, and then you are going to say Andy Swakam. Andy Swa. Then phenotype Sipho unali high cholesterol. And then we are going to say a high cholesterol, and then this side high cholesterol. And then genotype, we know that they are heterozygous, HL HL, and then gametes H mappa. Wow, you are wrong. I'm wrong. HL HL, and then fertilization. Hi man, why am I in a hurry? Because we have time, guys. You have time. Why now you have time? As a grade 12 student, you have time. You can explain this the whole day. The person that has to be tired, the person who has to complain, hey, I'm tired, should be me, not when. When now you can watch this around about 4 up until 6 o'clock in the morning, preparing for the class that we are going to have on your ordinary school or on your respective school. So anyway, we are winning, and there's also advantage, or you can place this at what is speed 1.75 1 times 1.75, where I will be but I will try it, place it, setting speed, take it from normal up until 1.75, and you will hear the difference, that you can also minimize the time by doing that. So okay, fertilization H, possibilities H, L, then L, H, and then L, and then gametes genotype will have H, and then here we will have H, L. We're starting with H, it means even here we'll start with H, L, and then L, and then genotype, this one, she is 6 times high. Here she's 6 times above normal, 6 times high, and then here they are high, both of them, and then here you have a low. Ne? Then that's our explanation, and then you write high here. Don't write it like this, high that side, and then probability here, it's 1:2:1, and then at the bottom also it's 1 year high is 2 year yeah, high only, and then is to 1. So let's come here, and then probability means that for you to have 6 times high, you have 25% chance, and then for you to have high cholesterol, we have 50% chance, or for ngwana a really low, I agree when I'm one in this scenario, and then you will have 25%. So okay, question number 2.2, what is the percentage chance that their next child will have? We have already explained this, Angel. A, but low cholesterol level, 25%. Wabo. And then number B, extremely high cholesterol, extremely high, 25%. So when now you get this, guys, 15. So when they say this one bring the third of your paper 2, we know nano karibadlala. And then this one is going to build up until we do something called pedigree. In pedigree, you will be now being, you should be by that time when we deal with pedigree, you should be at a state where when I come to you and write something like this, I write something like this, you now understand probably the first one, you see kaka, you see kaka, r. Then you know, without even drawing this and doing this, you know that from these two, there's a possibility of RR. So okay, let's move on. I said I'm no longer going to be explaining, and I'm no longer going to be doing that RR thing. Okay, this is our question paper, life science paper 2, November 2018, and then we are going to do question number 2.4. And I asked you to go and do question 2.4, and then when I was checking the question paper, I also see this thing. I also see the question here, 1.2.7, where 2 or more alternative forms of gene at a same locus. And then I said we did this, we know that one allele, we have 1 mark in this question paper. And then 1.3.1, they are saying type of inheritance where both alleles are expressed. Both alleles are expressed. It means both alleles, they are dominant. Again, both alleles, they are dominant. You see, they can change words, they can use expressed, they can use masked, they can use dominant, they can use recessive. So when I know how they can play with these words, then here both alleles are expressed means dominant. And then we know that in these two, here's another tip to answer these questions. You have a statement, and then you come to column 2, you have an X statement, you read the statement. After understanding the statement, you go to column 2 and you see your possible answers. Number A, it says codominant. We know codominant, both they are dominant. And then complete dominant, one is dominant. And then when we come back here, they are saying both. It means A only. When I don't come here and cram, you can come to 1.3.1 and say A only, B only, A only. You have to write everything. B only. And this one also plays, guys. They said B only here. B, A only. When you come and write A, you can get it wrong, my guy. Hence, we find most people more basina 100% your life science. This is the silly mistake that you do. They said A only. You know those markers, Muna, they are brutal. You come and say A, they say hi, this one can't listen to instruction. There's no way we're going to give him distinction here, life science, so that atsamaya ayo apply for medicine, or atsamaya ayo apply upholosa maphelo a batho a sa gone umamela a simple instruction. So but o tima yona this o tlo tsena nursing ka madoda score, o tlo tsena nursing because sekolo se nyaka di students tsa nursing, and aba ba agree students tsa nursing ke ba banyane. People now they want to be lawyers, they want to be something, because we have, I told you, we had learners here, we have students from what university or Namo South Africa striking, or the doctors are unemployed. So okay, the lines on that say do that way. A only, you write A only. B only, you write B only. None, you write nine. Both, you write both A and B, not A and B, and not both. Not both. This one is wrong, this one is wrong. You have to write you have to follow instruction. Here's the instruction here. They said both A and B or none. Thank you. That was it. Our 3.1.3.1 codominant A only. Ne? Let's not be mistaken here. And then here it's A only. A only. Then you get your 1 mark. Peacefully so. No one is going to fight with you. And then the rest, these two, you did them previously. Then you will do, we can do this when we are doing revision that week. But I will also need you guys to subscribe and like and comment if you are understanding me or I'm just wasting my time. Because I might be wasting my time or I might be helping someone. So, okay, let's go to our question 2.4. 2.4, let's come here. And then one of the things that I've already got this query, most questions did 2.4. They will bring this monohybrid crosses at 2.4, 2.3, somewhere there. Okay, it's fine, 2.4. But a flower, okay, dive in. Okay, you have to read everything. You don't just come here and read question. No, yes, not. I say English. In English, you can come and read a question and then go back and read statement. That's English. But yet, this life science, you read statement, you come back to question, you don't understand the question, you go back to statement. Okay, it's fine. It's final time. You have time. Yeah, you have time. You have a lot of time to deal with this. No one is rushing you. No one will be rushing you. Then okay, but flower color, purple or white. Ne? We have two colors here. We have purple or white. In a particular plant species, it's is controlled by two alleles, D and small letter d. And then one thing they didn't give us which one is dominant over another, but when up from this statement you can say we know the first one to be explained, it will be dominant, and the second one it will be recessive. Maybe like you are taking chances in that way. Let's just move on. And then they say 4 crosses were carried out to determine which allele is dominant. So now they want to under which allele is dominant. Yes, D is dominant and is dominant over the small letter d, but this D, yes, D is dominant over the small letter d. But now we want to understand, is this D coding for white color or for purple? That's what we want to see here. Yes, it's dominant, but for what color? You get me? So they say 40 offspring were produced in each cross. The phenotypes of the parents and offspring in each cross were recorded. The results are shown in the table below. Cross 1, cross 2, cross 3, cross 4. Parent 1, parent 2. Then this parent 1, purple plus white. All 40 of them, they were purple. Purple and purple, 31 were purple, 9 were white, white were 40, and then purple and white. And then from here you should be understanding that in complete, now we are dealing with complete dominant. Okay, we are dealing with complete dominant. And we know that in complete dominant we have 4 types. We have one where we can cross a homozygous multiply with heterozygous, and you know that in this cross all of them 100% they are going to be dominated by this. And then we also have number 2, number 3, number 4, which are number 2, let me check, number 2 heterozygous and heterozygous. Here you know that one the ratio is 1:2:1, and then the third one is homozygous dominant multiplied by heterozygous. Here you know that one color phenotype is 1, the phenotype, all of them, they are going to be black, and because for us to have white here, for us to have this recessive to dominate, we also need one of the recessive this side. So because we only have one, all of them, they're going to be dominated. And then the last one, we have a heterozygous recessive multiplied by a homozygous recessive multiplied by heterozygous. And you know that when this small letter and this small letter join, we are going to have that recessive color. And then also when this one and this one, we also have this. But when this one join with these two, it's 50-50 here. We will go to have HH and we have HH, and then we're 50% white, 50% recessive, and 50% dominate. So okay, it's fine. Let's go into the questions now. I was saying this because this can also help you when we come here. Someone who already grabbed this when we were reading this, when we were saying parent one was people and parent two was white, and all of them they gave us 40 people. From there you get some answers. From there you understood something, or man, it means that these people more. I agree, they're saying 40 crosses were carried out to determine the allele that is dominant. We now understand which one is dominant here. By this one, by people here crossed with what? I agree, one it has to be D, and then one it has to be small letter D, small letter D. And when we cross this, one has to win, and the one that is winning here it's people. And if this people is winning, it means this D it's people, parent one. So le adijaja, my friends. So le adijaja, my friend. Okay, 2.4.1. Shedra. Askis. 2.4.1. State the dominant flower color. Well, now you know. Dominant. But state the dominant flower color. People. Right? And then use cross one. Use this cross. What was used here? Use it. Or you can do it on a side, or you can you can now from your understanding that these two, this what happened. But use cross one to explain your answer to question 2.4.1. Here, explain these people. Why are you saying these people is dominant? You can come here and say, in cross one, you are explaining. Yeah, they want your explanation. Abanyake to do a cross. They want you to explain. You can say, in cross one, when a purple flower was crossed with a white flower, all offspring were purple, or no offspring was white, or neither offspring were white. 2 marks, and then from there you can say all of them. I get 100%. It says 100%. 100% were people. Because 100% were people, that results in, or that therefore this gives us that people is a dominant color. Hence I said here it's people. That's what they want to say. When I give them explanation, 2 marks. But also use keywords in those things. Use both dominant, use both the recessive. Use when we crossing two, when we were crossing, when purple and white flowering plants are crossed, all offspring have purple flowers. Use those, the purple is, do you understand? Use a complete dominant. A complete dominant was performed, since we had a primary color, we have first color and second color, and then the results it's one of the two colors. You understand? Just say something. 2 marks. You don't have to say much, but say much, not much, but much. You see now, just say when we cross purple flower with a white flower, all offsprings were purple. And then I'm going to get the point where I said cross, I get 1, and then where I said 100% offspring, I'll get 1. It's really disturbing. Then 2.4.3, state Mendel's law of segregation. We did 3 laws, and I said only 2 of them they concentrate on them. First law and the second law. The third law, not that much. First law, law of segregation. Second law, law of dominance. Third law, law of assortment. And then here's the thing. Segregation, I said separation. Separation. And then dominant, one is dominant over and we are not going to use alleles here. Separation of factors. Here we said factors. And then one factor dominant over the other. Over the one factor is dominant over the other. So okay, but state Mendel's law of segregation. Where now here in this segregation, the moment you said two factors separate, you have 1. You see yes 3, and you can say yes 3. So this one. So where how can you place this? You can say, how can we say this? The keyword segregation, separation. This keyword 2 factors, they separate. You can start by during an organism agree. Now an organism, it's either a parent or it's either a male or a female. An organism possesses, or an organism have two factors, have two factors, and then those two factors, they separate during meiosis, or they separate so that the gamete can have one of that factor. That's the law of segregation, yeah, Mendel. That's what Mendel was saying. When I reboot what Mendel were arraying. State Mendel, an organism possesses two factors which separate or segregate so that each gamete contain only one of these factors. So that gametes won't have two of those factors. You understand that one, Anil? Thank you. Then 2.4.4. But use a genetic cross. Use a genetic cross. It might be a Punnett square or the crossing, the thing that we do. Ne? But use a genetic cross. Where's the cursor? Use a genetic cross to show how the crossing of two purple flowering plants can produce a white offspring. So when you know for this white offspring, it has to be small letter d, small letter d. So we have to bring small letter d from the father, and then they are saying two purple. It means that here at the top, two purple. We know by this time that purple initially d as a dominant, and then we are going to say d, and then they said s in cross 2. S in cross 2. We crossed a purple and a purple, but we have 31 that they were purple and 9 white. So let's do this genetic cross to show these results. Then we will have D top here, up here. We'll have D and small letter d multiplied by D small letter d. Don't forget that uthoma ka ungwala uri P1 and you write phenotype and you write purple multiply by purple, and then you write, you understand, you write purple multiply by purple, and then write genotype here, genotype, yes, and then meiosis. After meiosis, gametes will be d. Let me not waste my space cut those things. Now I know majita litsweri, and then what's this, and then we say gametes, it will be d, and then after gametes, and then we'll have fertilization, and then fertilization, this and this, this and that, this and this, this and that, and then we'll have capital letter D, and then capital letter D, small letter d, capital letter D, small letter d, small letter d, small letter d, and then phenotype. These are the genotype F1 generation, and then we know then from there we'll say phenotype, and then phenotype DD, purple, pure purple, and this one is purple, and then this one is also purple, and then this one is also purple, and then this one is white. Hence we had 31:9. These three, they are purple, and the ratio is going to be 3:1, and then ratio at 31:1 from 40. If we are going to say we have 40 and then 3:1, we are going to have 31:9. 31 were purple and 9 were white. Then it's 25% of 40. That one is 21%, and then this one is 75% of 40. Then that's it. This question, and then we also have another question. Let's push this up until 1 o'clock, guys. Let's push this one until 1 o'clock. Thank you, guys. And those who are done, they can leave. It's fine. 2021. What did I found here? Did I saw something relevant to what we are doing? Yes. 2.4. And then 2.4, it says in rabbit, fair color may be black. When I will go and do other questions, and when I just find the one, the bomber 2.4, where we are talking about another thing. It's got the mistake. We have dihybrid and monohybrid. Dihybrid work at two colors, two traits. Monohybrid work at one trait. When you see a cross, when you see a cross, and then in that cross they are giving you an instruction, or they are giving you a scenario. Maybe they are saying someone has tall legs and brown skin, and then was crossed with short legs and pink skin, you know that is dihybrid. We haven't reached there. We saw. We'll do it together. Don't then okay, it's fine. 2.4. Yari. In rabbits, fair color may be black, white, or gray. 3 colors: black, white, gray. White and this, you know that we are dealing with incomplete here. The moment you see this, we are dealing with incomplete dominance. And then, but the inheritance of fair color is controlled by 2 alleles, namely black and white. 2.4.1. Explain why fair color in rabbits is an example of inheritance with incomplete dominance. Guys, by you being able to understand that here we have incomplete dominance, it won't be difficult for you to explain here. Why? How do you explain why? Why? Because you are explaining why. Because when a black fur was crossed with a white fur, you write cross, when crossed with a white fur, a new color or an intermediate phenotype was recorded. Anyhow you want to write it, guys. And then you know, actually, as a mark, I know that in incomplete dominant we are dealing with an intermediate phenotype, and when we are dealing when two colors are crossed and then an intermediate is formed, then I know this person understand, and then I will come and give white and black being crossed and then interface kaufamarak. Or you might come and say, explain why fair color in rabbit is an example of inheritance. You say in inheritance dominant, in incomplete dominant, 2 colors are formed and then we have an intermediate color. Same with the scenario. A black cat or a black cat can be crossed with a white cat, or the alleles that are controlling the color are black and white, but we see a new color emerging which is gray. When I just play with words, well, neither recessive, neither dominant. But when you're I'm telling you, when you understand things, they are better than when you cram them. Because when you cram them, there's a teacher here who used to say to us, creme makes Maria a doll. Cramming, creme makes Maria a doll. So when you cram, just know that you are digging your own grave, my guy. And that will there. Then by the kaka, when Wao fell, you will be crying, coming to us, hey, you want to hang yourself. Rufa mfundo ya mahala, a free education. Let's move on either way. Ari, use a genetic cross to show the expected genotypes. This one will be our compulsory mark. Use a genetic cross to show the expected genotypes and phenotypes of the offspring when a gray male mates with a black female. And then from our textbook, they said here you have to start with a female and then come with a male. But here you see the thing that I was saying, when you start with the one that you were given information ya one. We were given information ya gray male. Okay, let's go and answer this six minutes. We still have minutes up until we hit our 1 hour mark. We are going to say P1, 6 marks. P1, you write phenotype, and then you'll say mo gray, gray multiplied by a black. Thank you. And then from genotype you'll come and say from phenotype you'll come and say genotype. And then genotype ya gray, you know that gray is the mixture of black and white. And then here black, it will be homozygous. And then you will say meiosis, and then meiosis will produce gamete B, W, B, B. And then from there you will know fertilization. You see, you cram how to write fertilization. No one is going to say, hey, you are saying it wrong way, unless you write it the right way. And then fertilization will happen, and then this B with this B, this B with this B, this W with this B, and then this W with this B, and then we're going to have B, 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 and then B, W, B, W. And then, Barimini, use a genetic cross to show an expected genotypes and phenotype. And then you'll come and say F1 generation and say these are the genotype. And let me write it. Let me do space. Thank you for your time. And then you say F1 and you said gametes. You see, these words are confusing. Genotype, and then this will be genotype, and then phenotype. Then phenotype, you'll say this one will be black, and then this one will be black, and then this one will be gray, and then this one will be gray. So you see that if we cross a gray and a black color, we won't, or we are not going to have a white baby or a white rabbit. Ne? So if when you are in agriculture, maybe like you see that no man, the gray rabbits they are selling, or you see man, or no, the black rabbit they are selling. Then if I can take my black rabbit and then and close it with my black rabbit, there's a possibility that I can have black rabbit. You understand? So if I want white rabbit, I can go and take gray rabbit and close it with a gray rabbit, and I know that the possibility of them to have a small rabbits that are white, the possibilities are there, right? Why? I'm saying because if you have gray, we have B W incomplete, and then B and B, B and B, B and W B, and then we have B, and then we will have B W, and then we have white. Then we have chance of us to have white rabbits. Ne? So you understand that? You understand this? Ne? So, okay, that's how we answer our question. And then 6 marks, genotype, they're going to give you, phenotype, they're going to give you, and then if you wrote F1 and P1 at the right, you will have mark here, and then if you have meiosis, fertilization, right mark, you will have 1 here. With this, you can't just write meiosis fail. You will write meiosis with phenotype, genotype, gamete, genotype, phenotype. Then you have 1. Then for now you have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then where's the 2 coming from? Right phenotype, and then right what? Let's go. Maybe you want to do a Punnett square. Punnett square. Let's Punnett square. You will start here with Punnett square. Punnett square. You will start here. You see, everything is fine. Everything same thing. Everything same thing. But the only difference comes when we now do the crossing here, like and then you write gametes, and then you see listen to me. Can you hear that music? Hi man. Sorry guys. Sorry guys. Ninkolele bafowethu bakini. Then you'll say gray here, it's BW, and then here we'll have B. Then this B and this B, here this B and this B, and then here W and B, we start with the one that itomilek ion, and then here and here we'll have B, and then here and here we'll have B, W. Then after that we write our genotype, we write them here, and then phenotype, we write our phenotype. Then that's it. Then when now you'll get this, and then genotype, problem I can move that up, but you'll write here B, W, and then that's it guys. 5 minutes left. I also had question called 2022 paper 2 life science, and this one was mid-year paper 2, May June, ne? And then okay, then here's another question. We're only left with 5 minutes, our 1 mark, And then it says an individual that has received an identical allele from each parent is described as what? You see that this is what I was talking. This is what I was talking about. Something is fishy. Something here, and then we say this is what I was talking about. An individual that has received an identical allele from each parent is described as being, because when now you see this homo, there's a possibility of you just coming and saying A and A what. But let's see here, there's also see homozygous. So let's make baring baring yeah, that thing. Be careful here. So it's fine. Let's go to our 2.4. Our final question here will be fast nyana, because we are only left with 5 minutes. We are only left with less than 5 minutes. Then where did I see that question? Okay, here's the question. And then we did example. This is the example that we'll be doing in class and everything. They're saying the diagram below shows the inheritance of flower color in snapdragon plants. We don't even know what is that snapdragon plant is, but the two alleles controlling flower color is red and white. As you can see, they have red, white, and then we can see here this one is an incomplete. And you can see incomplete because of an intermediate color. And then but 2.4.1 state the type of dominance shown by the snapdragon incomplete. And then 2.4.2 give a reason for your answer. Same as that question, same as previous question paper. When the right one and the white one were crossed, the offsprings were being giving an intermediate color, and this only happened under incomplete dominant. 2 marks. Simple. Okay. 2.4.3, but a gardener crossed 2 pink flowered snapdragon plants. Use a genetic cross to show the ratio. Here they want this. They will be the compulsory mark. If you don't show the ratio, there's a possibility of you to be penalized. Use a genetic cross to show the ratio of the expected phenotypes in the offspring. Ratio ya the phenotypes. So we are going to say pink, red, and white. Here they give us the letter red and white. It means this one, Barry, they cross what? 2 pink. It means here it's R and W. And then we are going to say R. You will start with P1 and what? Don't forget. We don't have time now to write that. Well, now you'll have it. RW multiply with RW. And then this one, this one, this one, and then we are going to have R, and then we are going to have RW, and then we are going to have RW, and then the last one we are going to have WW. And then phenotype, these are the genotype, and then phenotype, the ratio of the phenotype we are going to have red, pink, white. And then but show a genetic cross to show a ratio of the expected phenotypes in the offspring. And then answer ratio, it's 1 is 2, 2 is to 1. 1 compulsory mark. Then this 5 1 not chill. If you have P1 and F1, only 1. If you have a phenotype, genotype, meiosis, gametes, fertilization, and then genotype, and then phenotype at the rightful, right, you have another 1. So one, these are the free marks. And then guys, mostly it will contribute over 10, over 15, these monohybrid courses. So guys, let's go and do them. If you have any problem, hit me up guys on our Facebook and on our Facebook and on our comment section guys. Thank you, welcome for thank you for tuning in. When I go back, do some questions, make sure that you understand this. You don't understand it, let's have time, let's discuss this. I'm also available go YouTube, go WhatsApp 0 when I sign this thing is to 0711906168. Yo, something I said Spanish up here. I will have to refresh my documents, but after refreshing here next week we are going to it means that we won't be able to see this progress of ours, because you can see now when I write the thing is jammed. So I will have to refresh everything and start afresh, guys. So thank you, guys. Thank you once more. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share, guys. Let's do this. Each one teach one. Unity. Diverse people unite. Peace.